Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke.
And I'm Emily. Welcome back. Today we are talking about A Court of Wings and Ruin, chapters 15 through 17.
Yes, by Sarah J. Maas, of course. And
Yes.
my bad. Yeah, I was waiting for it. It's on me. I'm a jerk.
No, you're not.
If this is your first time going to this content, well, not like some of the people in this book. If this is the first time you're coming to this content, just know that we care about you. We support you. Stay safe in the cold. Stay safe in the winter. This one right here had to trudge through many inches of snow to get out to her she shed by the seashore. Just kidding. In her backyard. So, without further ado, that one, though, is a smut oracle. She knows all about this kind of stuff. I don't. This is my first time read. Actually, my third time read. This is the third book in the series, obviously. And we're doing chapter section by section recaps and reviews. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. If you want to support the channel, you can. We have a membership and we have other ways to support. You can check the description of this video and you can buy a book or do whatever. The membership's $2 a month and it pays for coffee and whatnot, but we're really just here to have a good time. So sit back, relax, and I'm going to kick it off to the Smut Oracle for her to do her thing and to help us relive what happened in these chapters.
Cool. Well, today's chapters are where the emotional vibes are rancid and the war planning gets uncomfortably real. We start by telling Lucian, finally, the actual truth about the Night Court, bargains, chaos, all of it, before hauling him up to the House of Wind to see Feyre's sister's post-cauldron. Nesta has chosen anger, spite, and professional level apathy. She refuses training, help, and is actively hostile to the people offering her the only real option she has right now. Elaine, meanwhile, is not even mad. She's just gone. So depressed and lifeless. She's basically described as grave dirt. Devastating. No notes. As chapter 16 shifts us to Amren's loft, aka the war room, where Amren's been deep diving into the Book of Breathings like a demon librarian. We learn the Night Court is playing political chess, pitting territories against each other so Hybern can't unite Prythian into one neat invasion package. We get more context on Miriam and Draken, learn exactly what the King of Hybern has over Jurian, and realize Hybern's whole leadership style is starve the people, aim them at war, call it destiny. By chapter 17, the takeaway is obvious. Talking to a few allies is not enough. They need everyone. The plan is to summon every High Lord in Prythian for a meeting, but not before one very important conversation happens first. These chapters are trauma, tactics, and a collective realization that this war is not going to politely wait for anybody to heal. So, Luke, are you ready?
No one comes to the kitchen couch for the food. Let's hit it. Listen, you're so good at that.
Oh.
Like I'm like, oh, let me do a quick few things. Obviously, I'm doing some like left and right. I've got screens all over the place. And I'm just like, man, I need to pay attention to this because this is so good. I enjoy it every time. Honestly, I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's check it. Okay. Maybe the best character work with an ensemble that we've seen in a long time in this series. Mm-hmm. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Like that was my biggest takeaway from all three. My favorite part, I would say I've got two favorite parts. One, I actually used a sticky note for because there was a Reese line that was like, this is the Reese line. This line right here is the Reese line.
I bet I know exactly which one it is. I can't wait.
Oh boy, I put money on it. Anyways, I don't think you do. But yeah, I think it's like the Reese line. But the other thing is the way that Lucian is addressed is perfect. No notes. Everything you said, no notes before, but no notes on how Lucian is addressed. Because essentially, he's a villain. He's a bad guy in their story. And they're bad guys in his story. And, well, some of her story. I don't think he has any gripe against Moore, let's be honest. But, yeah. Like, that whole moment, I wasn't ready for the intensity. And then I was like, oh, I forgot. This has got to be an intense moment. And it was just kind of perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have really good moments with everybody. Like all of the inner circle, we get a really good moment as we're back and kind of trying to figure out what happens next. And they're not all happy and pleasant and wrapped in a little bow either. Like some of it is contentious as well. So do you want to like hop in from the beginning, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do it, because I think that that's what we've been doing before, and I think that's a really cool way to kind of just keep doing the thing.
Sweet.
Let's hit it.
So chapter 15, we basically start right off with Lucian. So we're having to have a conversation. We do like make a note, because remember where we just ended was some sexy time with Rhysand post coming back home and reunited there, and it felt so good. So we come downstairs from that, and they're wearing rings. They're wearing wedding rings now. Oh, isn't that the cutest thing ever?
I could hear the music and the birds chirping. It was the best.
It was so cute.
It was really
cute.
So
she's got her ring back, which is a ring that she had to steal herself from the weaver. And Rhysand is also wearing a ring, and he went like ring shopping for himself while she was gone, because he just wanted to be sure that he had something like on his finger, which I find adorable.
It's hilarious. So yeah.
It's so cute. So we have that, and then we come downstairs and we basically just start, well, Rhysand does what he does, which is like threaten right out the gate. He's like, I will kill you, so stop being a dick.
Right.
But I kind of love it. What were your thoughts with this initial conversation with like Rhys, Lucian, and Feyre?
It's so appropriately like did the culture shock thing. I think like for me growing up in the South, I imagine this happening quite a bit, inviting like someone into a black culture, someone into white culture. Like it's not even an invite per se, but if it's going to be like, hey, if you're going to be here, you got to be part of the business, whatever the business is, right? And that doesn't mean anything to do with money, talent, or time. It really is just, and I thought that was really beautiful. Like I said, the procession down into the room was gorgeous, hilarious, kind of fun. I mean, it's them fun, you know? But that kind of just like, hey, this is how this is going to go. And this is our city. And you're still gross.
I love that Rhysand attempted to be kind first. He tried to have a moment with him where he was like, look, I was in love with Feyre long before she ever returned the feeling, because Lucian, obviously his mate has not accepted him yet. And so Rhys is like, dude, I know it sucks. Like I spent a long time in your shoes. I empathize, I sympathize, I empathize. And he is just kind of a dick about it, until finally like Rhys in front of Cassian and Azriel and Moore just finally says what he's wanted to Lucian this whole time. So he's talking about feeling her locked in the house. So he says, I was willing to lose my mate to another male. I was willing to let them marry if it brought her joy. But what I was not willing to do was let her suffer, to let her fade away into a shadow. And the moment that piece of shit blew apart his study, the moment he locked her in that house, my mate may one day find it in herself to forgive him and forgive you, but I will never forget how it felt to sense her terror in those moments. And that's when like all of a sudden like Cassian and Azriel check in, and they're obviously super, super pissed. And she says, she thinks, I'd never talked about it to them, what had gone on that day that Tamlin had destroyed his study, or the day he'd sealed me inside the manor. I'd never asked Rhys if he'd informed them, but from the fury rippling from Cassian and the cold rage seeping from Azriel, I didn't think so.
My God, you did that perfectly. Yes. All of it. Yes to all of it. Because I hate Tamlin. I hate that guy. He sucks. Tamlin sucks. I feel a little bad, but like only a little bit, like enough to be like, oh, the bully has a poor home life, but you're still a fucking bully. So you don't have to be a bully. And there's examples of how not to be a bully, but you're going to be a bully anyway. Like it sucks, but man, Tamlin sucks. Good job. Emily. Thank you. Yeah.
He does. So Lucian, to his credit, actually starts to listen a little bit, and they get to explain. But Reese, after he pops off a little bit, Reese gets to threaten him actively, and he says, like, basically, hope you're wise enough to keep your mouth shut, because the next time you look at my mate with disdain and disgust, I won't bother to explain it again, and I will rip your fucking throat out. Quote, unquote.
Yeah, that is actually my favorite part. And he should.
What's your favorite line?
Yeah. No. That's not my favorite
the
line.
Reese line? Okay.
No. But I love that part. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's just, oh God, Reese is so cool. In these chapters, Reese is the coolest. I'm not the biggest Reese fan. You know this. I'm just not. But he's the coolest in these chapters, if that makes sense. In these
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. He is. He's way cool about that. So we go to the house.
I was gonna say the House of the Wind. The House of the Wind is like hilarious. I love this. Not hilarious. It kind of goes exactly like I think. So I'm not gonna interrupt you. So sorry. Do your thing.
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying we go to the House of Wind next, which I find adorable, because Cassian's like, I don't want to have to, or Azriel's like, I don't have to carry him. Cassian has to do it.
He's like, I'm busy.
So they go up and go to the House of Wind, which is where her sisters have been hanging out this whole time.
Right.
And part of that, I think, was like protection, because there is no way to winnow in or out. You can only fly in, or you have to walk up like 10,000 stairs. So there's some protection and some privacy in that situation, which I think was maybe the tactic behind that.
Yeah. And also, like, it's also like they can leave, but where are you going to go? Might as well stay in the nicest house in the country.
Right. That also, it kind of, well, we haven't got to that yet. Okay, never mind. So we chat with Lucian. We catch him up at this point, and we basically are like, dude, this is everything that has actually happened. And Lucian has like a little bit of a moment where he says, I hadn't realized I was a villain in your narrative. So he's kind of like coming to see maybe that this whole time there has been another side of things that he was not aware of.
Right. And to be fair, this is in Lucian's character, because doesn't have like the agency to become the man that they're talking about, but I think he's going to gain it over the course of this book. Part of their relationship with Elaine, for sure.
Yeah.
Did I use agency right?
I believe so.
Great.
I mean, like, yeah.
It's cool.
I was like, no, you're good. You did it right. So we first go and see Nesta first.
Right.
What did you think about Nesta? Because she, from the jump, she's sitting very un-Nesta-like. Like, she seems almost casual, which seems weird.
I think so. I am curious as to why that's in the book. Like, why she's sitting so like casually. Like, she, she came from having no care in the world to now having no care in the world. Part of me thinks that, like, her mind is always on making sure Elaine is okay and the house is fine and blah, blah, blah. Well, she doesn't have to worry about Elaine because Elaine's in the next room and she's not going to cause any trouble because she's in a bad spot. We'll get to it. And then she doesn't have to take care of a house. So it's every single burden that she has is she's not dealing with anyone. She's allowed to sit in silence and read and hang out. She's having a cabin moment, which is kind of awesome. But
yep.
Yeah.
Says she was, had I not immediately spied Nesta curled on the armchair, for once very un-Nesta-like, casual, perhaps relaxed, perfectly content to be alone. And says Nesta had been beautiful as a human woman, as high fae, she was devastating.
Devastating is my favorite word in there too. Is it not yours? Like, there's a scene later which I love. I want to talk about it. But the moment they walk in, she immediately becomes like Mr. Scrooge. again, like the worst boss you've ever had, who's like, you know, micromanaging everything you've ever done. And their little conversation I kind of hate, to be frank with you. Not a huge fan, but it gets better with the final scene. So they have this conversation, right?
They do. And they're looking, so she's like curled up and she is, again, very relatable, at least to me. She's reading a romance novel. Curled in her
Of course she
little
is.
chair.
It's
like, it's so meta.
Of course she is.
And it cracks me up so much. But she is talking about how she hadn't seen her since she went into the cauldron. And when she had that day when she went in and she had opened her eyes, she said, I did see it. I saw something great and terrible within those eyes. So we're kind of clocking there's something wrong with her, but at the same time, we're kind of same old Nesta. Yeah. You know, like kind of a raging biatch.
Yeah. There's like, I'm not going to say it. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would help her to have a little fun.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
and the fun that you and I joke about constantly.
Correct. Yes, we're aware of the type of fun that she needs.
I'm not talking about going to a dance.
We're not talking about. Well, earlier in this chapter, Rhys was worried that Feyre might throw Lucien off a railing, and so a railing needs to occur, but not in that way.
Right. Right.
Involving Nesta. So Cassian
a subscription.
Has been...
we need a subscription, you know, multiple times. Cassian
has been trying to like help her and try to get her to train and to talk about her powers and do whatever. So we find out Cassian kind of has we see it happen and then we find out more in chapter 16 or 17. Cassian's got some like big survivor's guilt situation going on when it comes to Nesta.
Yeah, actually.
And so he's been flying
I feel for
up
him
to the house every couple days because he needs to like work out his wings or whatever. But really it's because he feels bad and he needs to check on her.
I feel bad for him. Don't you?
I do, actually. I do. As it says, I wonder. So when I looked ahead, I found Cassian staring back at Nesta as well. I wondered why no one had yet mentioned what now shone in Cassian's eyes as he gazed at my sister, the sorrow and the longing. Mm-hmm. So Cassian is a little sick, a little lovesick.
Little lovesick, but also if she's devastating and she doesn't play with Cassian, because he's used to people playing with him a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, he's like the big fun lug of a guy.
Yeah, and she's like, I've got no time for this.
The Lucien of this crowd. He's like the Lucien of the inner circle.
Yeah, I'd say so, but like cooler.
Oh, way cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, like the college version.
Yeah,
we made that reference last time. Yeah. No, yeah, he's just cool. Cassian is just a cool dude. Mm-hmm. Like he's the guy who would throw the red pill dude out of a bar, like with his bare hands. He'd be like, we're not demeaning women in here, dog. You don't get to say that. This is your only opportunity to stop. And they're like, well, F you. And he's like, oh, okay. And they just toss him right out of the bar.
For sure.
The guy's
versus I feel like Lucien in that situation is like doesn't say anything in the moment and then afterwards tells his friend that's a girl, dude, that was really shitty. They shouldn't have said anything like that.
They shouldn't have said that to you.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
It's like similar vibes, but different in the execution.
Super genuine too. I'm not saying that as like neither one is disingenuous, but yeah.
I agree. They just handle things a little differently.
I like that Cassian in this scene also saddles up next to her and is like standing next to her, talking to her like this. And it's like, buddy, come on, dog.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Come on, man.
He's like, look, I'm really big. I'm really formidable.
He's like, I'm on your side, but I agree with them. Like that's definitely he's taking her side physically to see if that helps, and it just doesn't. It's like, no. Damn, man. Damn.
No. But also, I'm sure he like put on cologne, right? I'm sure he like
Oh
Smells
yeah.
good.
Oh
Like
yeah.
did all the things to try to be sure that he's enticing.
His shoes are slightly shinier. Like
He does
there's
not have to work too hard at it either, because he's a bad boy, so he doesn't have to work
no.
hard.
What color is eyes too? This is something I know you know. His eyes are
Oh, I
very
actually
specific.
don't.
She
I'm not
mentions it so many times. She's like his
Reese's, yes.
well, his
Reese's eyes are like violet. They're
yeah,
so
but
blue, they're violet.
maybe she mentions his eye color. Either way, he's yeah. God, he's so funny.
I'm sure
Cassian's a
she
man.
mentioned what color it was when she was being a weirdo and painting the eyeballs all over the cabin. So I'm sure it's mentioned, but I'm
That's
not a Cassian girly, so
not all people that paint are autistic, but that's her autistic trait. It is.
I mean, we all got to process things one way or another, right? Like the,
Every time it comes to a point where she's like, I see it as a painting, because it happens with Lucian earlier,
Totally.
and I'm just like, ooh. Speaking of that, by the way, Lucian doesn't back down in that scene, which I think is awesome, because he could cower easily, and he doesn't.
Mhm.
He pulls the Cassian, so I thought that was cool too. So that they have this conversation. Nest is having none of it, but this is the point where they invite her to dinner. Right? They're like, hey, we're having dinner. Or you're
Yeah.
going to come to dinner with us. You don't really get an option. And she's
Basically,
like, I'll put on my Sunday best. And I mean, she's just got to stick up her ass. That's how she rolls.
Yeah.
And then they go and visit Elaine. And I can't imagine walking into this room. Honestly, it's got to be something similar to like a death in the family.
It feels like it's very like Miss Havisham vibes. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Sorry. That's a Dickens. So classic Dickens character is Miss Havisham, and she's left at the altar, and so she just stays in her wedding dress and like lives in her wedding dress and like never took it off afterwards. Like she can't move on from that kind of situation. And so that's like kind of the vibes I get in this chapter from Elaine. Right. She's like, I'm supposed to get married next week. And everybody's like, we know, you keep talking about it. Now, in her defense, she's supposed to get married next week. Okay. Like I'd be thinking about it too.
Oh yeah.
In her defense.
Listen, I can't imagine being a girl and getting married and doing it to a wealthy person and what that means to me. I have no idea. Like I can't comprehend it. And when I do try to comprehend it, my head hurts. Like it's a wild scenario to me. Like, oh yeah, they're wealthy. I'm going to be married to a wealthy person. I'm going to have a station. I'm going to have to build relationships with specific people and lord over others. And I'm just like, I don't even know what this means. What are you talking about? Like, I can't even.
You're like, I'm barely responsible for myself. I can't be responsible for a household.
Chicken and a vegetable. That's dinner for me most nights. Like, what are we talking about? It's like I had to walk like a mile in the snow to pick up toilet paper because I almost ran out. You can't be running out of TP.
No, you can't. You got to plan a little bit better when you're the head of a house.
Not to mention, and you would know better than me, like there's this whole like, first off, here's another thing. 0 chance she's getting married without her dad being there. I thought that part was kind of catchy. That part was kind of silly.
Papa Archeron just not really around when you need him, and also doesn't really seem to care much, right?
Papa Archeron sucks. He sucks worse than Tamlin. He's like, I'm gonna be gone for several months. His daughters are over here getting I don't know. I'm not gonna. They're getting transitioned against their will. That's literally the only way I could say this, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
By a terrorist.
You're not wrong on that.
By a terrorist.
Yeah.
So
you're not wrong.
Yeah. And he sucks. He sucks. And they're at no point like, I want my dad. Neither one of them.
None of them are like, too bad. Where's dad? I mean, the only reason why he's brought up in this point is because Nesta's being a biatch and is like throwing him up as yet another thing of like, this is how bad you messed this up.
Yeah. It's funny. I think it's funny. Papa Archeron sucks. I hope he kind of comes back and he's like some pirate or something. It'd be cool if he was a pirate. But
So
Yeah. He's just
that's hilarious.
he's just
With
swashbuckling.
or without an eye patch? With or
No,
with
with,
without.
obviously. A peg
Okay, cool.
leg, eye patch, and a hook hand. Not a parrot,
Okay.
though. No parrots.
I love it. I love it. So we're talking about Elaine, and what I think is cool about Elaine is she has all the time been compared to like flowers, and she grows stuff all the time. Whether or not it's helpful, Elaine, you could have grown a vegetable. Let's be honest. That is a lot of kind of what she's been
So true.
put
It's so
put
true.
with, right?
Yeah.
So they're talking about her and describing her, and it says she was too thin. Her iron engagement ring still encircled her finger. Her skin so pale it looked like fresh snow in a harsh light. And I realized then that the color of death, of sorrow, was white, the lack of color, of vibrancy. And she just looked like a shell. And it says, I beheld her hollowed out cheeks, the bloodless lips, the brown eyes that had once been rich and warm, now seemed utterly dull, like grave dirt.
That's a great description. I was
like
thinking of
grave dirt and her like growing stuff. Yeah. Like,
is it called The Others? There's a movie, like a ghost movie called The Others, where like there's like ghosts inside the house, and there's the mother taking care of the children, and you can kind of see like the style, how that stylized is how I think that she looks in this room.
yeah.
Kind of just like lifeless, as you can
Mhm.
get, and like doesn't even want to look at anyone. It's hilarious that she's so lifeless because she's immortal.
Right. Because
Right.
yeah, it's like that's how bad it is. I mean, imagine how actively bad it is to be a fae, completely, immortal, all of the things have improved immediately overnight, and she looks like she's gonna die. Like, that's bad. That's a bad situation that she's in.
Yeah. Like she's actually more beautiful, like per the fantasy. And
Right.
it's not lost on me that like she's the most undeserving
Mm.
of her station. Like Ness is a bitch, but like if she could take an L. It's okay. There are lessons to be learned there. But yeah, Elaine's like, no, I was gonna be a wife.
And she's like totally fine with being the wife to like a dude. First of all, she knows that her sister is a fae. She knows that.
Yeah.
And they've been planning, because remember, they've been having these little like meetings in their family estate for a while, like all through the last book. So like she knows her sister is high fae now, and she's continuing to be like engaged, plans to be married to a like the number one enemy of fae as far as human goes. Like, he hates them.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
So I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. No, not once did they talk about like how much she was in love with him or how well he treated her or whatever. It's literally just, and there are girls like this. I have friends like this that just like do not care about the quality of the human being. They just want to be married. Like,
Yep.
They just want to feel like they've been picked. They just want to get married. They want the wedding. They don't want the marriage.
I might clip this and send it to a friend of mine. Because it ain't her. My friend isn't the person, but an ex-friend of hers is the person. And that person,
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If you're watching this, ex-friend of my friend, it's you.
It's you.
It's you. You know who you are. If you're watching this.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, I know women who similar vibe with having children. And there's like, oh, there's this, then this, then this, and then this, and then this. And it's like, yeah, but does that guy matter? No, the guy doesn't actually matter.
It could be literally anyone.
It usually is literally anyone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So not a fan of that situation. But for her to be so busted up and broken, I don't think it's over the guy.
Oh yeah, she didn't care.
It's just the life that she thought she was gonna have.
Yeah, her like, well, part of it is the being forced thing, which I think is extremely appropriate, that reaction.
Oh, for sure.
But the other part is the other part, which sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's
And
really
there's grief. I think anytime something that you had banked on doesn't work out, you have to grieve
yeah,
the fact that you're not going to have that life or that choice didn't happen. And
yeah.
that's valid. But to be practically on death's door when you're a high fae over, like, ugh, that guy. No thanks.
I agree. But again, these women were told that these people were monsters, and now she's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But also, you've been told that they're monsters, but you're in Valaris, and everyone has been nothing but kind to you.
yeah, I don't know that tracks. I don't think she gets it.
No.
She just thinks that now she's the monster that everyone that she knew was afraid of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which they don't communicate super well in the book. I kind of had to plug that in just now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're not wrong about that. But Lucian does get to overhear her talking about how much she's sad and how she was supposed to be married and, you know, how everything was taken from her and she's been robbed of this life and she just wants to go home. But there's Lucy and he heard the whole thing. So he's aware that she's in a bad way at the moment.
I think it would be hilarious if Lucy started showing up in darker and darker and darker clothes and dyeing his hair black and getting really emo so he and her can like trauma bond. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. That would be awesome. He starts a rock band called Lucy and the Reds or something, or Autumn Falls or something stupid.
Wow.
There's something stupid like that. And he gets like a nose ring that's just a bar across all the way through.
That's fantastic. So that leads us to
you obviously hate that. You're like, that's fantastic.
Like,
I think that's hilarious. You're like, no.
And on to the next.
This pizza tastes like shit. We're gonna have another bite of another piece.
On to the next. So in chapter 16, we go to Amren's house and we have some conversations with her. And well, before that, we're like, basically, hey, Lucian, you're gonna stay here. Okay, bye. Do you need clothes? What do you need? And he's like, well, what does it cost me?
And he's like, dude, you're a High Lord's son. I literally can't charge you. But also, it's not going to charge you anything because you apologized. So we're good. Just
we're chill.
He's like, just pipe down. And I literally tells him to pipe down, which is not literally, but he's like, pipe down is my new favorite thing to tell people. It's like, hey, pipe down. It's awesome. Wow. Yeah. No.
Speaking like a stage manager, that's all I've been told.
Or
backstage in a green room. Pipe down.
When someone's playing video games in the next room and they're yelling at their screen, it's like, hey, pipe down. Anyway, it's late at night.
You're entering dad era.
Oh yeah.
Classic dad situation.
I love a good pipe down. I piped down someone at a bar once. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh. But so Lucian bristles at him when he's basically piped down because he's like, it would be bad manners not to house and clothe you in your time of need. And Feyre's like, stop baiting him. Stop.
Yeah.
They're having this little mind conversation. She's like, stop it. And he's like, but it's so fun though.
I'll say that parts of these 3 chapters, we see a different side of Feyre with Rhys.
What do you mean by that?
Ooh, spoilers. But this is one of those moments.
We're about to get into it in this chapter right now. So go ahead.
But essentially they were like, hey, Lucian, you can do literally anything. You are not stepping into those rooms with those girls. You can walk down into the city. You can do anything you'd like. There's a shower right over there. Get changed because you're gross. But those women are off. They're off limits. We're not doing that. And he's like, sure. And so then they go to their meeting and they're like, yeah, 20 minutes, 30. How long do you think he'll stay in his room?
They're just taking beds. They're maybe an hour.
Maybe
30 minutes. For sure. It's adorable.
To his credit, he does it. Spoiler alert. But yeah.
It's pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
So he's like, what am I, a prisoner? Anyhow. So what did you want to say about the way that Rhys and Feyre are together.
No, it continues through the next few chapters. I don't
Yeah.
like, there's like in the next chapter, she kind of bites back at him a little bit.
Oh yeah. She bites back at Amren, which I'm like, oh girl,
Ooh.
okay, all right.
Well, Amren gets it, but like,
yeah,
the way Rhys handles it is so thoughtful, and not even in like an apologetic way or whatever. He's just like, she's in this kind of mood. I'm cool with it. Whatever. Like, I still have a job to do, and I'm still gonna do my thing, and I still love her, so it doesn't matter. Like, because she gets a little like agitated and snappy, and it's a little gross. It's like she's like, it's like, you're in love with this guy, right? Like, you don't have to be snappy at him. Like, this is childish what you're doing here. You don't need to be doing this.
Yeah, but as a person who's snappy and also severely loves my husband, he catches hell. And I don't mean to, and I do love him. And it's not conscious. It's being so comfortable with a person that it's the only person that you can let a little bit of steam out on. And it's shitty. It's shitty to do that to that person.
Yeah. Like, super shitty. There are just better ways to communicate.
For sure. But it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
And he's really, that's why I said, this is my favorite section with Rhys, because he's just like, oh yeah, I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
Like she's just now figuring out that some of this stuff because she's been away, and that's okay.
But that's the other thing too, is like, he already knows. Everybody else is aware of what's happening. She doesn't. And he also doesn't want, big thing as well, she's now not just his wife or his mate. She's the High Lady.
Yeah.
So he's letting her sort it out and figure it out and decide who and how she's going to be as a co-ruler of their court together, which big props to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting. I'm not shitting on her. Like, it was like, okay.
But props to him for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I kept reading. This next part is pretty cool. You have this meeting of the minds with essentially the greatest rulers in all of the kingdoms, and they discuss their battle plan, their modus operandi. It's a little bit exposition-y.
It is.
It's a little exposition-y,
but it's one of those things that happens in a Sarah J. Maas novel where we just need to dump a bunch of facts on you real quick so that we don't have to talk about this again later.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's basically everything that happens in this chapter.
That happens a lot in a bunch of fantasy stuff too. That happens in Final Fantasy video games where there's like, what are we doing? We're reading dialogue for the next 10 minutes.
We're lore dumping. Because you need to know what happens, like what you need to know.
Right.
So we found out that the book has been put together and you can't unseparate it now. So now it's just one book, Book of Breathings. And that thing has been yappity yap this whole time. So it starts to talk to Feyre, and now everybody can hear it. So before, it was in Feyre's head and she could hear it, but not everybody else could hear it. And now that the book's been reassembled, everybody can hear that book. And everybody's like, oh, that damn book. Like, shut up. So that's been interesting.
It's very interesting.
But we figure out.
Well, first, like, more, and they've all been kind of babysitting Amren, and Amren's like, I don't need a babysitter, and they're like, so we're still gonna babysit you. Like, this is how this is gonna go.
We're not trying to babysit you, it's just happening. Don't make it weird.
Right. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're right. You're right on. That's exactly what happens. We find out like we have some issues because there are territories that that are new ones that we need to worry about. We didn't need to worry about them before. But places like Valahan, Montaser, and Rask are all large enough to become an issue if they land on the wrong side of this conflict.
They're formidable. And we also find out that Azrael has sown seeds of deception and politics within them and between them and for them in order to
Mm-hmm.
keep them at bay for the time being.
Right.
We also find out in this chapter in section that they're going. Is this when you find out they're going to invite the other High Lords to a meeting of the minds in 2 weeks?
Yeah, the end of this chapter for sure.
Yeah.
So before that, we find out Feyre's like, well, I know that originally when I asked why you haven't bothered to tell Miriam and Dracon that this kind of stuff is happening since they're part of it,
Right.
you declined because you said that like they didn't deserve, quote unquote, like they deserved peace, not to worry about it. But we find out now that Azrael did try to go to where they are, and it's abandoned. The
Yeah.
island where they've been is abandoned, and they were worried, like, what happened then? Like, where did they go? And how did they find out about it? And they're like, Hybern? No, maybe we now have no idea what's going on with them. Whereas we thought we could just maybe go talk to our friends and be like, hey, what about an assist? That doesn't seem to be a possibility at this point.
Yeah, not yet. We also find out that the cauldron is less powerful, less good. And Feyre's like, let's go try to destroy it again. And they're like, that's not possible. And then she's like, no, but seriously, like I wasn't ready. Like I'm sure, I could pass this test again. And they were like, no, it's not even a test. Like it's a bad idea forever. Like
forever, actually, no.
Like you don't touch that. And she kind of caves, and I appreciate her caving because I don't want them to reinvent the wheel here. Let's move on to another tactic.
Yeah. So you got some information about what it says. That's what the King of Hybern has on Jurian and why Jurian works for him.
Yeah.
So you've been kind of being like, why? And so we get an answer to that question. And it comes in the form of Miriam and Dracon. Right. So it says basically she died and she bled out while she was carried away to safety. But Dracon knew of a sacred hidden island where an object of great and terrible power had been concealed, an object made by the cauldron itself, legend claimed. He brought her there and used the item to resurrect her and make her immortal.
Yeah, I'm a little lost on that one.
It says the King of Hybern must have promised Jurian to use the cauldron to track the item to where Miriam and Dracon now live.
Yeah.
Perhaps they figured it out and left as fast as they could. And maybe that's why they're not at the island anymore. So basically, Jurian really wants revenge. We found that out from the last section of chapters because she's like, you get a second chance and you're just going to go for revenge. And he's like, pot or kettle, pot or cauldron, like you're doing the same thing. Yeah, what are you doing? And so that's why he's working with the King of Hybern, because he needs the cauldron to be able to figure out where this other object is, to figure out where Miriam is located.
It's interesting because this other object might be powerful enough to tear down the wall, which is something else they talk about in this chapter, that the cauldron, there must be something wrong with the cauldron also, because it can't tear down the wall, or they would just use it as the tactic to do it.
Why are they looking for holes in the wall? Like, why are we looking for the weaknesses in the wall? Because before they could have just done it like that. So there's some issues, and they're like, well, maybe it's tired because it did change like 2 people. Plus the queens, right? The queens also asked to be changed.
But there's also, and I think, Nesta forced the cauldron to work a little bit harder. There's also the political aspect of the on Hybern people things,
right?
And that like they see themselves as being a liberating force. Rather than like the heroes of their own story, and the King of Hybern put them in that position to feel that way. And they're going to use the island of the Prythian island in order as an example,
right,
of what the world should look like. after the
Yep.
wall comes down.
He says Hybern has had a long, long while to think on those mistakes and how to avoid them at any cost. So he made sure his people are completely for this war, completely for the idea of the wall coming down, because they think it will somehow restore this gilded vision of the past. So he's basically starving his people and making sure that they're real mad, not at him, but at the perceived enemy, which is the rest of Prythian. So he did not reestablish trade routes. He did not do anything to try to help make sure that his people were okay after the wall went up. And because of that, he's just let his people be super angry and kind of like cannibalizing themselves.
Right.
So that they are primed and ready for this war.
And yeah, I mean, that's what's happening.
Yep.
And they're primed and ready.
Don't want to get into it, but there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
About our specific situation in today's times, if you read between some lines.
I was also going to say World War II Germany, but yes.
Again, some echoes of some things that are happening.
So
fascism is not great, and any time period in any time period, whether in real life or in fantasy novels.
Yeah, powers, like abusing powers wrong. The next part is awesome, and this is the confrontation where Amaranth says, my sister's played no part in this, and then Amaranth is like, you sound exactly like Tamlin.
Mm-hmm.
And Moore's like, you take that back, bitch. Like, I mean, just like, I will throw you off this out of this building. You get one chance here. And there's some back and forth, and I'm like, oh, like I even was like, oh boy, this is gonna get weird. And finally they have like, apologize, Moore. She's right. She's correct. Didn't communicate it super well, but she's correct that I maybe should be more thoughtful about how I communicate to my sisters about the situation, because they believe that they can use the power of friendship and family to overcome this obstacle, which is hilarious. I think it's really funny. It's because I've seen all this like Naruto and all this other stuff, and there was like, oh, the power of friendship and the family and the love, it saved our thing. I mean, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy hold hands and like use their combined friendship to stop the judge or whatever. Mm-hmm. So can't wait for that to happen here. Yeah. But she's right. Blah 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 blah, and Moore kind of chills out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
wait, so that's what we say about Rhysand. So she says Amren is right, and then she walks out of Rhys's touch, and it says Rhys had realized that realizing that Rhys had kept silent to let me sort it out and let me figure out how to deal with both of them as family, but mostly as their high lady.
Yeah, like she needed to do that. But then Rhys says, I'm not entirely sure Valerius is prepared for Nesta Archeron. And then she snaps at him. My sisters are not feral animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, that's for sure not what he meant.
Yeah.
She overreacted here.
But I think it's because she just saw them for the first time. Mm-hmm. Since all of this happened, because before all of the cauldron stuff happened, they joked like this about Nesta, like everybody did, and she laughed about it, and she was also like laying into it as well, talking about like the queens and Nesta and all the stuff. But I think now it's like she's sensitive about it because she saw the situation at hand in real life and how it is, and it's not good on either side. I mean, Elaine, it's definitely the more pressing of the issue.
Yeah.
But Nesta's not doing well with this either. And so I think she's just a little sensitive about that. But she does clap back at
Right.
Rhys.
So,
And
like,
he doesn't necessarily deserve it.
he doesn't.
It's not called for.
No. Because he doesn't do that to her, and he won't. Well, he hasn't yet. He might be like later, but it's not called for. And it was the moment where I was just like,
yeah,
Feyre, this is out of character. Don't do this.
It is. It's not called for, but I understand it. I understand why.
However, full disclosure, he did pile on right after she was being called Tamlin. So
right.
He didn't necessarily need to say, like, read the room. This isn't a safe place for Chogus.
Right. But that's how he does. Like, he has always kind of like poked her out of situations and riled that side of her. Like, that's part of his character. That's part of what he does. So I get it. I do. And I understand and feel like I get what his tactics were in that conversation, but it was not received well. No. So swing and a miss, and they don't let it get to be a big deal or a big thing, which I like.
Well, Rhys recoils a bit, and he says to her, I didn't mean that. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't care what he means or doesn't mean because he said it. And then more frowns in disapproval of Rhys. And I was just like, I don't know that I like this.
Yeah, so then we just kind of like circle back to the issue at hand. So we just say, what of Elaine? So we're just trying to like keep the conversation going because it did get awkward. Like, mommy and daddy fought. They've never fought before. Yeah. So they're like, what do we do? What do we do about that? But she says she will, I can ask. She might not be ready. But and that's when she said she was supposed to be married last week or next week, and Amren's like, so she keeps saying over and over and again, and she even snaps it at Amren. She says, careful, like, please stop, like, just give my sister some grace, please. But again, she hasn't been there in over a month.
Yeah
she doesn't know, like, she just got there, right? So she's seeing this and she feels like there's no compassion towards them because she hasn't witnessed the last 6 to 7 weeks.
Right. And so the thought is, have compassion for me.
Right.
Like, I don't care if you have compassion for them. It doesn't matter. I understand why you think this is funny and I get it. But be careful what you say around me because this is my first time experiencing this bullshit and I'm not super thrilled about it. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make it better. But right now, it's top of mind. So careful what you say because I'm not cool with this.
Right.
Yeah.
We can maybe laugh about it later, but we're not laughing about it right now.
It's actually pretty solid leadership, to be frank with you. Like, and the people need to be like, oh, yeah, she just got here. Maybe we shouldn't make jokes about what's happening here.
Yeah. So she conveniently wraps everything up in one paragraph and says, so we need to find a way to patch up the wall before Hybern uses the cauldron to break it and fight this war before any other territories join Hybern's assault and eventually get the cauldron itself. Anything else? And they're like, nope, you pretty much covered it. That pretty much covers it, babe. Good job. Way to
Rhys is like,
way to recap everything.
Rhys is like, yeah, that covers it. As soon as the force is assembled, we take on Hybern. And then the Cassian's like, the Aurelian legions are nearly ready. And then Rhys is like, nope. And I mean a bigger force. A force not just from the Night Court, but from all of Prythian. Our only decent shot of finding allies in this war. None of us spoke. None of us moved, as Rhys said simply, tomorrow, invitations go out to every High Lord in Prythian for a meeting in 2 weeks. It's time we see who stands with us and make sure they understand the consequences if they don't. That's how I read that in my mind. Sorry. That's how. Is that not how you read things?
It was very, this Rhys part was like pretty overproduced.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was pretty.
He was cooking.
Like, he was very much cooking.
He was cooking.
Yeah.
And he does it
So
again at the end of chapter 17. He does the same thing. Anyway, go ahead.
he does. He totally does. It is a little bit overproduced in a funny way, but that's just kind of how he is in a lot of ways. So we're gonna go to dinner.
Okay.
And that's the next chapter. So we're gonna have dinner at the House of Wind.
We're gonna do dinner. Okay. That's the next chapter. Yeah, I know.
That's what it's basically the whole.
I read this part.
I know. But wow, thank you.
Yeah.
More for the people who are following along.
Y'all want to go to Din Din? I'm excited.
We're going to dinner. We're going to dinner at the House of Wind. So we go. And she says, talking about Nesta again, she says the day she changed, I felt something different with her. It was like everything she was, that steel and fire, it became magnified, cataclysmic, like looking at a house cat and suddenly finding a panther standing there instead. So this is where we kind of get in it with Cassian, and we find out he's got that like survivor's guilt situation going on because he promised her. So he says, Feyre's like, you were not in a position to save anyone. Like, why are you feeling so guilty? And he says, well, I made her a promise. And when it mattered, I didn't keep it. And she says, I still dreamed of him trying to crawl toward her, reaching for her, even in the semi-unconscious state the pain and blood loss had thrown him into, as Rhysand had once done for me during those last moments with Amarantha.
Yeah, it's so sad and disappointing. And then at the very end, he says, because I can't stay away, which is really cute. Nessa's for sure holding that grudge, and she sucks for it.
Kinda.
She sucks for that. Like, get over yourself.
I hate to tell you that she's going to get worse before she gets better, but she's going to get a lot worse before she gets better.
Oh, yeah. She's going to make everyone pay for her situation. That's that. Oh, yeah. That's that bitch.
That is Nesta to a T.
Yeah. Like,
that's Nesta.
My favorite Nesta moment is when I was working with this woman back in the day. And if you at all disrupted her flow situation and she got the least bit frustrated with you, she'd go out of her way to find mistakes that you made. Because
that is definitely a Nesta quality.
Because she took it personally that you ruined some part of her day. Yep. I can't wait for someone to be like, Nesta, it's not about you. It's okay. Like,
the time is coming. Don't you worry about it. I mean, Amren kind of does it later in this chapter. A little bit.
Amren kind of pumps her up and is like, hey, so this is a super fierce moment. They sit, we're not quite there yet because you do have this conversation between Lucien and Feyre, and they are like BFF talking. And it's really awesome. It is really kind of an awesome moment. And he's like, yeah, this place is real. Like, it is what you just, like, I understand. I get it. Mm-hmm. And I now like have the empathy you're talking about. Having had wanted it for so long. I now I see. And these are people of action, and they do shit. They don't just let things happen. They get shit done.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
And then they're having that conversation, and Nesta comes in the room. So she like makes like an entrance, and she kind of gets like a hero entrance in a way, because Moore's like, damn, where did that dress come from? Like, she looks so good. And Moore, who is basically like
a bombshell,
beauty queen of all of everything. She's like the most beautiful woman that Feyre has ever seen, right? She's like, oh, where'd that dress come from? I have no idea. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I want to know. And she's like, Rhys. Rhys is great at buying dresses, at getting dresses for people.
So I need someone, I marked this. You got to describe her dress to me, because I don't get it. So so it's a form-fitting dress. It's blue. And it sticks to her form down to her hips, and then it flows out.
A long sleeved dark blue gown that clung to her curves before falling gracefully to the ground in a spill of fabric. So think of it like almost like a mermaid shape. So basically, like, it's tight around her hips, and then it just kind of pools of fabric kind of go to the ground from there.
Okay.
And then it says she had like silver combs in her upswept hair, and yeah, I mean, she looked good basically.
Yeah.
Blue fabric, I want one.
She's a bombshell. She's
Yeah.
dynamite.
Yeah.
And then Moore's just wearing like a dress that's showing off her midriff and like 2003 prom dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my prom.
It says Nesta's face remained a mask. Cold. She looked more up and down, so she looked at more, noting the dress that exposed much of her midriff, back, and chest, then the flowing skirts with sheer panels that revealed glimpses of her legs. Scandalous by human fashions. So it's also like that culture shock we were talking about as well, because they're not more dresses for more.
Mm-hmm.
Moore doesn't dress for other people. She's just enjoying the way that she looks, and in a lot of ways that's like scandalous for what Nesta is used to.
Love some more.
Yeah, it's pretty
anyway.
Cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
so they have a conversation, and Amren comes down and says, she's like, "Well, why do your eyes glow?" Because Nesta's just like blunt as shit. Like, she's like, "Why is your eyes glowing?" And she's like, "No one's ever asked me that. No one's ever been brave enough to ask me that." And so everybody's just kind of waiting then to be like, okay, are they gonna actually? Is she gonna answer though?
So it's funny because this is a Cassian thing. Like Cassian would ask this question, right? But he's too afraid. So
right. And so, but everybody like clocks in and is like, "Oh shit!" She just like straight up asked, "Is she gonna answer though?" Like, because I want to know. Everybody wants to know. They're just been too afraid to ask. So she says, "They glow because it was the one part of me that the containment spell could not quite get right. The one glimpse into what lurks beneath." And she's like, "Yeah, and what is that? Like, what are you though?" And she's like, "Well, damn, girl, again, nobody's bothered to ask." They never dared to ask me that either. Why? Because it's not polite and they're afraid. And so Amber's just like staring at her. Nesta's just staring at her like, "Well, I'm not, bitch. So you gonna tell me or not? What are you? Am I supposed to care? Are you supposed to scare me?"
Well, Nessa's very like, if I'm not dead already, then you're not gonna just turn around and kill me. So who are you? What are you trying to be here? What are you doing?
What's your deal? I don't understand. I don't understand why I don't get you.
And then Amren hits her with the "We are the same, not in flesh, not in the thing that prowls beneath our skin and bones, but I see the kernel, girl. You did not fit the mold that they shoved you into, the path you were born upon and forced to walk. You tried, and yet you could not fit. And then the path changed. I know what it is to be that way. I remember it long ago as it was."
Mm-hmm.
And Nesta's like,
"No, you're not me. You don't have that right."
I think
Amren says,
well, Amren's right. Amren is correct. No, she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I think it's literally that deep. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And then Amren's like, "When you erupt, girl, make sure it's felt across worlds."
Mm-hmm. It's such a good line.
And then Feyre's like, "Oh God, I don't want to see that."
And then Rhys comes in and he's like, "Amren, it seems, has been taking drama lessons at the theater down the street from her house." Because it was very dramatic.
And then she said, "I mean it, restraint." And then he's like, I'm sure you do. Okay. But
it's time to eat. Let's go.
Something before we lose our appetites here. And then you get the cool slice of life bullshit.
Yeah.
And they all kind of sit down in weird spots.
Everybody sits down, and Lucian is left at the head of the table, and he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
Yeah, shouldn't somebody else sit here? And they're like, just sit the fuck down. Who cares?
He's like, "We don't care, dude. Just sit down. Chill out."
And I like that,
this whole time.
they're all like, okay. And then Feyre like serves Nesta, and Nesta's looking, and she's like, all right, I understand what you mean about the food thing. I get it. She just reminds me of like, and shout out Bill Belichick, right? Should be in the Hall of Fame. It reminds me of like those scenes of Bill Belichick where he's doing the media, and they're like, "So what do you think of the Patriots today?" He's like, "I just think that they did pretty good, and we're gonna move on to next week right now, and we're looking forward to playing the Cleveland Browns." I imagine that's just her like whole. She's just dry and unaffected. But then she's like, I see what you mean about the food. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. So Faye was like, is that a compliment? She's like making it, like drawing it too. And it says Nesta did not return my smile as she speared some asparagus and just kept eating. So, but they're trying to get, she's trying to get Nesta to feel like, all right, we're all on the same team. Like Cassian's one of us, right? You're one of us. Cassian's one of us. So she says, okay, when are we getting back in the ring for training tomorrow?
Right.
To Cassian. And he's like, Dawn, but I'll take it easy on your ass. 7 o'clock.
And they had this like they had this back and forth about how like Aurelians wake up super early, and Moore's like, meh. And then as far as I recall, Cassian. Okay, so this is the most Reese line. Is this one right here? Is this the one you thought I would say?
No.
Okay, so Cassian only grimaced as Reese at Reese and Azriel. I told you that the moment we started letting females into our group, they do nothing but trouble. And then Reese is like, as I recall, I'm not doing it, but
no.
He says, as I recall, as far as I can recall, Cassian, you actually said you needed a reprieve from staring at our ugly faces, and that some ladies would add some much needed prettiness for you to look at all the day. And Amber's like, pig. And then Cassian gave her a vulgar gesture that made Lucian choke on his beans, because Lucian is like,
have you clocked the amount of times that the words vulgar gesture has happened?
It's well over 10.
It's well over 10 by this point. Yeah. Anyway, I just had to ask.
Cassian's like, well, I was a young Aurelian and didn't know better, he said, and pointed his fork at Azriel. Don't try to bend into the shadows. You said the same thing.
Says he did not, because Azriel's a sweet baby angel and would never say anything like that.
Only you, the General of the High Lord Army's more return the gesture. They're just doing slice of life bullshit.
Yeah. It'd be cute.
And then Amren's like, you'd be wise to leave both of them at home for meeting with the others, Rysand. They'll cause nothing but trouble. And then they go through blah, blah, blah. But this is the cool part, is when Lucian actually becomes an asset. He begins to become an asset in this moment, basically saying what we've been hearing the entire time, that, hey, by the way, they all might have different ideas about old girl having some of their power, and that he's liable to go to the other side if that's the case, because he's selfish with this shit.
It's still really cute how he does it too, because he basically is like, I
have thoughts.
Can I say something in here? They're like,
Lucian, you may speak.
We don't usually raise hands here, but sure, go ahead, buddy.
You got it.
You whatever you want to say. And he's like, yeah, I don't know if anybody's told you this, but like my dad's kind of the worst, and he will for sure try to kill her and everybody, and or just completely go against all of us straight to Highburn if he finds out that she's a party trick. Let's not do that.
And Feyre's like, I did the trick for the brother though. Like, what do we talk for Eris? And then
she's like, they already know.
And he's like, well, Eris kind of sucks, and there's a chance he would just use it politically to garner some other favor. So there's a chance. There's a chance the father doesn't know either. So
because Eris is going to be on Team Eris, he's going to do what he wants for himself. That may or may not have included letting Daddy Baron in on what's going on.
Daddy Baron is too far. Daddy Baron is too far. Daddy Baron, come on in.
That's his name. Lucy. It's Lucy's daddy. His daddy.
Ugh. Cassian's after that. Cassian swore softly and I was inclined to echo his sentiments. Re-swirled his wine once, set it down, and said to Lucian, "You and Azrael should talk tomorrow." This is when the fucking overcooking starts. Should talk tomorrow. Lucian glanced toward the Shadow Singer, who was blah, blah, blah. I'm at your disposal. That's what his voice sounds like to me, by the way. I'm at your disposal. My name is Lucian.
We gotta work on how these people sound in your head, because they sound so like lame in your head.
It's fantasy.
Ugh. It's way better in my head.
I'm at your disposal. And he kind of nods, and they're all like, "This is so weird. Why did he just say that out loud?" And then they're like, "Oh, if he thought Tamlin would arrive, that was perhaps a conversation best left for another time."
Yeah. So we find out what's going on, and Reese leans back again, overcooked. Reese leans back in his seat, his jaw tightens. Then he lets out a near silent huff of air, steeling himself for whatever he was about to reveal, whatever plans he had decided not to reveal until now. And even as my stomach tightened, some sort of thrill went through me at the clever mind at work, when he said, "There is another meeting that needs to be had, and soon."
I got it. Hold on. I'll be right back. I need a prop.
Oh my. Oh, talk about overproduced and overproduction.
Every time.
Every time.
He's like, I imagine this is how this went down. He's like, there's another meeting that needs to be had. And soon. And then the Who starts playing. Yeah! Like Miami. Like CSI Miami. That's exactly
Truly,
what that felt like.
That kind of is like, it's like right at the end, the line that you know is going to be the end of a chapter that is overproduced. It's very Horatio Caine, CSI Miami, like some pun about a dead body. That's exactly what that line is.
I have one for you. Do you mind if I give you one? My Horatio Caine one?
Yeah.
By the way, okay, so unfortunately, this is one that I had heard somebody else say that I thought was hilarious. Unfortunately, this woman had been sexually assaulted. And they found just semen all over her body. And they're like, "Oh, Horatio, we found it all over her body, on her chest and in her hair, even in her ear." And he's like, "I guess she heard them coming."
I can't laugh at that. I'm sorry.
Don't.
I can't.
Don't. That sounds like something that he would say.
It does. But
that's the worst part about it's the worst part about that whole thing. It's like, oh God, he would definitely say that.
He would say that. Yeah. It's pretty bad. That is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you said you were a little mad because I left you on a cliffhanger.
You did. So let's talk about next.
That was the end of that chapter. So the next set you're going to have is chapter 18 through 21. So if you're in the trusty paperback, you're going to stop at page 229.
The trusty paperback. Thank you.
Trusty paperback. You'll go through page 229.
Perfect. Your form. Perfect.
So this one's a little longer. It's about 50 pages.
Great.
But
tomorrow, where I live, we're supposed to have a little bit of the wintry stuff, maybe, but like 18 degrees and 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
Fun.
Yeah, it's like the worst. It's like the worst environment of all time. And you've got 10 inches of snow at your house, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's still been snowing, so I don't know what we're gonna end up like. We haven't had any snow like this in a really long time.
Did you go sledding?
This is actually no, because the wind was real bad and it still was snowing. So I don't know. My kid's 4. She's never been able to play in the snow before, so we're really excited about. She's obsessed with Frozen, so homegirl needs to build a snowman. But I'm not going to take her outside until it's actively stopped snowing.
Speaking of Frozen, we're doing reactions to Wonder Man, which will be on the channel. It's a Marvel show.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that voice actor for Olaf?
Josh Gad.
Josh Gad's in episode 4. He's in episode 4, and then there's a scene in the club where he's singing his song like in a like a LA club, and it's hilarious.
Nice.
It's a hilarious moment. And I was like, is that Josh Gad? And then he's like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Josh Gad. And it was just like, also,
that's pretty great.
Joey Pants makes a, he's in the second episode. They go to Joey Pantaleone's house. Yeah, it's actually, you might like it. It's about an actor in LA.
Okay.
Who's like trying to make it as an actor who just so happens to have superpowers.
Oh man.
But yeah. It's
I had not heard about this yet. That's pretty funny though.
And so like in the there's like a duality between the main character and another character who I won't spoil it for you, but they do like practice monologues and self tapes and stuff in the show. And so there's like my brother and I doing a reaction. I was like, I have my script right here that I did a self tape for weeks ago. Like, it sucks. No one likes doing self tapes. But yeah, I mean, it's super, the guy is super talented. He talks about, I need to know the backstory of what my character is. Is he like, does he go to school? Does he do all these things? And the other guy's like, you kind of just have to feel it, dude. But I don't know what this isn't like, what are you doing? Stop overthinking this. And my brother was like, is this what it's like? I was like, yeah. Yeah, you definitely hang out with those people who are like in character at lunch.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Or they're like, what is my purpose for this? I actually heard a friend of ours, yours and mine, say that at lunch once. And I was just like, it was someone who's in Guys and Dolls with us in college. I won't say the character name. But when they said that out loud, I was like, I just had a mature thought. And my mature thought is, that's stupid. Don't say that out loud.
It's not that serious. Not that serious.
At the time, I wasn't having many mature thoughts. So when it did happen, it was like, that was a mature thought. Anywho.
Am I growing up? Good for you.
Yeah, I was like, don't do that. But it's just, you got to have a backstory. You got to give it a name. It's like, no, dude, I'm wearing a costume and wearing somebody else's clothes on a and my brother literally was like, so what do you do when you like don't know how to act on a specific word? You don't know your journey. You just say it and you keep going. He's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you just say it. You just say the words. And he's like, oh, is that easy? I was like, yeah, you just say it. They teach you in acting class. They're like, don't overthink it. Just say the words. That's what you're here for. Just say it. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I have to go because I have to go practice an audition song.
I have to go too. I've got to eat dinner. I am grumbly. My stomach is grumbling. So everybody, if you stayed and watched this far, know that we're going to continue with this series fairly soon. Check us out on Instagram and on YouTube and on X and on wherever on the Smut Oracle right here. We're going to load up when we'll do the next live. It'll be sometime this week. This next week. We don't know. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending on how quickly boy can read. Outside of that, Emily, do you have anything going on?
Depends on if I get a flight out on Tuesday or not. So we'll see.
Okay.
But if you like the content, you can always like and subscribe.
Awesome. Thank you for cueing yourself there. Because I felt like a doofus doing it every other time. Aww. And until next time, later, Tater.